Hey, what's going on? One thing that we don't do very well here in the Northwest is snow. It's very quiet. It's because there's no cars out, or almost no cars out. I am walking in the tracks that cars have made, but for the most part, no cars. That's because we do not have any kind of infrastructure to deal with what happens here when it snows. It's very icy underneath on the roads. You just can't really do anything about it. Of course, we don't have much in the way of snow plows or sanders because it doesn't happen often enough for those expenses to be covered. So, if I've got to go somewhere like the post office, I've got to walk with a backpack. And it turns out I do, because right before Christmas, as I was out taking my last batch of packages to the post office for the holidays, I got some orders. I did not have time to get them packed up and back out on the 23rd, and then I was away for the holidays. So I'm gonna walk to the post office, and I figured, hey, bring you along for the ride. We'll turn on the GoPro here in a little bit, and I'll use this in a few days to talk about kind of my year in review, how the year went with selling on Discogs and eBay and anything else where money may have come in, and use this trip that I have to make for something good. So anyway, walk with me to the post office in the snow. I figure I'll use this time to talk about not just my sales for the year, but also the channel. Really, I'll make this an overview of my year, so that'll include the channel, sales, and any other significant things that I did throughout the year. So I started Quarter Flips as a YouTube channel 1 year ago today. Today as I'm putting this together, and hopefully as I'm uploading it. I had come into some space that I was going to be able to use, and that was going to allow me to be able to expand my reselling as my main job. So the first few videos were basically about that, about getting things ready at the house, getting things ready at a new storage unit, and the little things I was doing to get things to sell. I called the channel Quarter Flips because it was an offshoot of what was then my main channel, a channel called Quarterbash, which is about coin collecting mainly. Check that channel out if you get a chance. I had a lot of fun over there, and very quickly with that channel in the year before Quarter Flips, I found that I was using it to also showcase my sales. I was doing a thing called Tuesday Totals where I was going over all my sales for each week. And after a while, it didn't feel to me like it fit, like I was splitting my focus in that channel, so I decided that Quarter Flips would be a place to do all my reselling stuff. I had a nice intro for Quarterbash though. I haven't been able to make an intro for Quarter Flips yet. Nothing has really sprung to mind, whereas with Quarterbash, I knew what I wanted right away. But anyway, this isn't about Quarterbash, this is about Quarter Flips. Let's stay on topic. Over the year, I uploaded 79 videos. Currently, my videos get, on average, about 200 views each time. If I put up a video, it's good for about 200 views. Some of them get more. Most of them don't get less at this point. And I think that just has to do, there's just some percentage of the subscribers that actually watch all the videos or at least click on them and watch them for a few seconds. My most viewed video currently has over 5,000 views. I have no idea why. My lowest viewed video has 43 views. And like a number of the videos from like my first month, the views have stayed low and people maybe don't go that far back to check out the early videos. And I totally understand that. But for the videos that have, well, for the one that has 5,000 views and the other videos that have multiple thousands of views or even over 1,000 at all, it seems to be the how-to type videos, the videos where I'm talking about how I'm going to pack things to ship or how to do things on Discogs. Those seem to be the videos that get more views from outside of the subscriber base. So one thing I can take away from my videos from the last year is that I should probably be making more videos in that style. By the end of the year, 2021, I had 742 subscribers on the channel and over 3,500 watch hours. Now, the reason why this stuff is significant, if you don't know, it's because you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within the previous year to become monetized. And being monetized means you get a little of the Google AdSense money for those ads they run on your videos. They're going to run those ads on my videos, I might as well get a little piece of it. So the way things look right now, when I reach 1,000, which will hopefully be before the summer of 2022, I will also have the right number of hours and I'll be able to monetize right away. One of the things I was doing early on in the channel, January and February of 2021, is I was going to a local drugstore chain and they had clearance aisles that oftentimes had a lot of good stuff. I was getting a lot of makeup really cheap and making a little bit of money selling it. And it seemed like a good thing to make content about, but a couple of things happened. It pretty quickly became obvious to me that I could find better items to focus on where I could make more money more consistently, specifically media items, and specifically in media items, DVDs. But the other problem is that company sold. It was a local drugstore. It sold to a national chain. And I still look at their clearance aisles and there's almost never anything there now. Used to get great deals. I haven't seen a great deal there for months and months. So hey, if you look at the early videos on this channel, you'll see a lot of clearance aisles, buys, and sales. If you have a cool store in your town that has a clearance aisle where they blow stuff out, go for it. That's a great way to get started. That's a great way to get product, brand new product that you can sell. It's an awesome way to get, a store off the ground. But you do have to have a business like that locally that has a clearance section, and I no longer do, at least not any that I know of. All right, moving on, I made my first Discogs video. That one has been received pretty well, and I think Michael Ann and I are going to make a series of Discogs videos, getting her set up on Discogs so we can make a video about someone starting from square one who's got no idea about the website and going in and seeing how to get on there and use it as a database and then use it as a sales platform. Hopefully we'll get those done early 2022. Then I had my first series of videos that anybody paid attention to at all, which I understand because I bought a storage unit and went through it and opened up the stuff and looked through it all. Made 3 videos. First 2 of those did pretty well. Third one was about shoes, and that's still one of my low viewed videos. That's fine. I don't really care about shoes either, honestly. Then I really started hitting more thrift stores and buying more stuff from people on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. And I was getting a lot of DVDs, a lot of vinyl, a lot of CDs, a lot of VHS tapes. And it was changing the way my store was working. It wasn't even an eBay store at the time. I was just an eBay seller. Finally, I was selling so many DVDs that I had to change the way I was shipping DVDs. I made a video about that also got a ton of views. It was the first time I got over 1,000 views or 2,000 views, I think was with this video. People still look at it. It also seems to be a little controversial. Not everyone agrees with the opinions I put out in there about shipping DVDs and media items. Check it out if you want to see if you agree or not. Then right after that, I decided I wasn't buying any more makeup for the reason that I discussed just a little earlier. And then I completely changed my life by getting a thermal label printer. And it completely changed the game for my selling. I don't know why it took me this long to do it. More than 20 years selling stuff online, about 30 years of selling stuff to people through mail order. I'm just one of those guys that gets stuck in his ways, and this was a good thing to get unstuck. If you are thinking about doing it, do it. And then as soon as I got that going, someone stole my car, and then I got my car back. And then I was getting forced into eBay managed payments, so I thought, you know what, if we're going to change everything, if I've got this printer now, I'm going to have to change the way I'm dealing with eBay. You know what, I might as well try doing a store. So I went from being just a seller, just a person who lists things on eBay, to someone who has a basic store subscription. And again, I should have done it a long time ago. It changed stuff for me. And the numbers show that. When I start talking about sales numbers, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bought a big bunch of VHS tapes. Challenged myself to list 500 items before I bought any new stuff. Completed that. I probably need to do another one of those, honestly. Gave away a printer at 200 subscribers. Took a trip to Bellingham to do some garage sailing and thrifting with my mom and dad. That garage sale video is hilarious if you haven't seen it. And then I shut down my store because I had to go to LA and work on a movie. I met a famous cat. I worked on the movie. I got to do some thrifting while I was there. Ultimately, this shut down all selling, though, for about 3 weeks. So I had this blank period. By the time I got home and ramped up, it was nearly a month of no selling. But right after I got home, I hit 500 subscribers and I gave away another thermal label printer. Started the stores back up and started a new challenge. the $1 to new car challenge. So I decided I was going to take 4 quarters and run those up, sell things, flip things, put the money back in, keep doing that until the money grows until I could buy a brand new car off of a car lot. You can watch those videos if you want to see how that's going. There's a playlist on the main page for my channel. Made my best CD sale ever. Got serious about figuring out how much I'm actually making by selling these DVDs. Got a rental car and went back down to California, this time with thrifting in mind. Learned about sports cards with my buddy Kevin. Did a final what sold video, and then that was it. New Year's, and here we are. First week of 2022, looking back. And that's basically it for the channel. You know, there's a few things I need to do. I need to get a little intro made. I need to make an intro to the channel video to put up on the channel page that kind of tells people who are new to the page, like, hey, here's what this channel is all about. I'll probably get one of those done sometime in the next year. And I just need to keep putting the videos up. One a week has been not too difficult. Sometimes I go a little longer. Sometimes I get 2 or 3 up in a week. It just kind of depends on what time of year and what's going on. If I have a series where I'm making 3 videos at a time and getting them all done at the same time and then just posting them every couple of days, or sometimes, you know, a week will go by where I'm just listing and working and not really shopping or doing anything all that interesting to show. And I just kind of feel like I don't have a video to make and I wouldn't want to waste your time with it. But, you know, usually I can do a what sold video at least if a week goes by. So I feel like I can say 1 a week at least. That's what you can be looking forward to in the coming year. I can probably do better than that. Okay, moving on to reselling. The reselling picture for 2021 was kind of interesting. I learned a number of things looking at my numbers. One of the main things that I learned in the last few days is I need to totally change how I keep track of my numbers. And maybe this is something that could help you. If you're someone who already does this, you're probably saying, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you have just done that? But if you're not one of those people, here's what I'm going to do for 2022. Every day when I wake up, I'm going to look at the day before and I'm going to go in and I'm going to keep track of every sale, whether it was eBay or Discogs or Craigslist or whatever. And I'm going to have an Excel spreadsheet going and I'm going to put all the pertinent information about that sale down. Now, I do this at the end of the year, but what I find is I'm going into eBay and I'm getting the information off there. I'm going to PayPal and I'm getting my information. And then I have to go to Discogs and get information because the stuff that comes down from PayPal doesn't tell you individual details about the orders, like what thing was ordered. Was it a 7-inch? Was it a CD? And then halfway through the year, I switched from the old style of eBay to new managed payments, and that changed the reporting. And if I had just had all this stuff in a running sheet that I've been doing every day, I would have simply sat down to make this video and looked at the information that was already there for me, rather than spending the last couple days compiling all this information and figuring out how I want to use it. So if I do this right in the coming year, I'll spend a little bit of time each day just on my accounting, maybe the first thing I do in the morning just to get it out of the way. And at the end of the year, it'll all just be at my fingertips. So the video I make next year to talk about 2022 will be much easier to put together. So let's take a look at sales. So I mainly do all my selling on eBay and on Discogs. A lot of people are familiar with selling on eBay. Not as many people are familiar with selling on Discogs. Discogs is where I sell vinyl records, CDs, cassette tapes, a few other weird things, like you sell some DVDs on there if they're music related. It's better if they're obscure. And there's other stuff like flexi discs and things like that that you can sell on there. But nothing else. You don't sell music t-shirts or anything like that. So first I'll go through eBay, then I'll go through Discogs. My total gross eBay sales for the year was $15,943.25. That's the combined total of prices that the items sold for. That doesn't include any shipping that was added on, any taxes that were added on. That also doesn't include any fees taken out by eBay. Many of the things that I sell has shipping added on afterwards, and many of the things I sell have shipping included. And I did not go deep enough into this to remove those numbers and give you a number that explains all that. That's part of the reason why I need to make that sheet for next year where I can break it all down for you. For this year, I'm going to just tell you it was $15,943.25, and then a bunch of stuff came out of it. The cost of reselling came out of it. I'll have a little bit more detail coming up, but right now I'm just going to get to where that money came from and then move on to Discogs. So we'll get to all that stuff in a sec. Okay, here's how that money breaks down. DVDs sold as individual DVDs or sets. So like a TV season would be considered a one DVD sale the way I account for it. I sold 544 DVDs for a total of $7,576.33. It was an average of $13.93 per DVD. DVD sold in lots. I sold 20 of those. This would be like, Kevin Smith movies, 5 of them for however much. Sold 20 for a total of $351.69. Blu-rays, I sold 30 for $400.70. Individual VHS tapes, I sold 83 for $986.46. That came out to an average of $11.89 per VHS. And VHS lots, I sold 8 for $194.92. Miniatures were my second biggest sales category. I sold 112 different miniature listings for a total of $2,609.58. None of those were shipping included, so all shipping costs go on top of that. My average price for a miniature sale was $23.30. Then I also sold some music on eBay. It's not my main place, but I do sell some on there. Individual CDs, I sold 22 for $212.19. CDs and lots, I sold 11 for $90.91. 7-inch records, I sold 2, $11.98 for those. 7 inches sold in lots, I sold 22 different lots for $208.43. LPs, I sold 13 for $250.67. Cassettes, I sold 3 for $23.97. And had one private sale where I sold 100 old Excursion Records backstock items. These are like sealed CDs from things that were on the shelf from years back, and I had a lot of that stuff. Someone wanted a good deal. I gave them a selection of 100 things for $75, and that was mainly just a get it out the door kind of story. Moving on, makeup, $365.58. That was 38 listings sold. Average there was $11.79, and it would have been shipping included on top of those. Toys and games, whether it was action figures or board games, I sold 21 listings for $474.36. Video games and related items like a charger or controller or instruction booklet, sold 18 of those for $361.23. Shirts and hoodies, these were all music related this year, and the only clothing that I sold 10 for a total of $365.62. Books was a surprisingly large category for me. I didn't know I had sold this much until I looked at these numbers. I sold 39 different book listings for $607.92. My average price for a book sale was $15.59. I will say those were almost all listed shipping included, so you do have to take shipping out of that. Shoes, I really intended to do more with shoes. I just didn't. I don't like selling them. I sold 4 pairs for $159.98. Everything else that I sold that you would have seen in my What Sold videos, whether it was a poster or camping item of some sort, maybe an audiobook, tools or whatever, just random household items. I sold 25 of those for $615.73. A lot of that stuff sells pretty high. I need to do more of that going forward. So before we get to adding in the Discogs sales numbers, here's what I learned about eBay from these numbers. Before eBay was managing the money, before managed sales, which is what made me get a store in June. So basically up until the end of May, I made $5,053, basically $5,054 on eBay. A lot of the stuff I was doing was auctions, and I was limiting myself to the free listings that they gave me as a seller, which was usually 200 listings a month. So for the first full 5 months of the year, into the 6th month basically, I was still doing it that way. Once I went managed in the summer and got the store subscription, I went up to 1,000 free listings a month. And I very quickly doubled the amount of things that I had listed. And lo and behold, I've made $10,889 since that time. And since I was gone for 3 to 4 weeks, basically, in the summer, I'm saying basically this is about half and half. I more than doubled my sales by getting the eBay store and also changing over to most of my listings being fixed price instead of auction. And I don't think that that means auctions are a bad way to go. I just think so many of the things that I was focusing on getting, like DVDs, you just, set it and forget it. People say that. You just put the DVD up, you list it, and it sits. Maybe it sells in a day, maybe it sells in 6 months, but it's just sitting there. It automatically renews. There's nothing I have to do. You just move on to the next thing. With an auction, if it ends with no bids, you've got to figure out how to get it going again, and it's just a hassle. So I really only do auctions now on things that are very specific, have a very specific value that makes them seem like an auction would be the best idea. All right, so there you go. I believe the basic subscription, the cost of a basic subscription has completely been worth it, has totally paid for itself, and has resulted in a doubling of the amount of money that I would make on eBay in those months. Let's move on to Discogs. My total money in on Discogs in 2021 was $7,592.94. It breaks down like this. I sold 80 7-inch vinyl records for a total of $456.22. 4 10-inch vinyl records, $67.96 for those. 12-inch and LP vinyl, which is normally my big money category. I sold 154 for $3,394.46. Average price there of $22.04 per LP. But this year's CDs were where it was at for me. Sold 264 CDs for a total of $3,509.36. My average price per CD was $13.29. I also sold 1 cassette for $13.99 and 5 DVDs for $150.95. And that number doesn't make a lot of sense. That would be $30.19 per DVD. But one of them was this special Trent Reznor thing that went for $105. So the other DVDs all went for around $10. Okay, my total was $7,592.94, but I paid out $2,050 specifically to people to sell their music through my Discogs. So taking that out, Discogs really pulled me in $5,542.94. Just keep that in mind. So when I add up the gross totals for my eBay sales and the gross totals for my Discogs sales, I get $23,536.19. Bear in mind, some shipping comes out of that. All of the fees come out of that. Taxes come out of that, whatever the profit is. And all the things that it cost me to do to have the business, like storage and packing materials and things like that. And I don't have those numbers for you, but know that they are there. And I think you'll see very quickly that that's not even $2,000 a month. But here, let me make that look a little bit worse. Remember I said it was $2,050 for records and CDs that I sold on Discogs for people? When I take the cost of all the items that I bought for resale in 2021 for both Discogs and eBay, I paid $6,760.30, which means if we take that cost out, I made $16,775.89. I mean, I feel like I'm still at a hobby level with this thing. It's certainly not enough to live off of. It's maybe close for one person in a shared living situation, which really is what I'm in, but my goal is to pay the entire cost of living here at the house, and that won't do it. But another thing to think about is as I'm making this video, I have a giant death pile of things that I have paid for with some of that money that I just told you about that came out of the cost of doing business, the cost of putting those items up that I took out to make $23,000, $16,000, over $500 on eBay, over $830 on Discogs, listed, and then tons more to list. Most of that stuff is paid for. So really the whole story isn't told here. When I started last year, I had some things up on eBay. I had some things listed on Discogs, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't generating enough sales. I have more than doubled that. And that is now the foundation that I'm going into the new year. Everything that I list now, everything new that I buy will be going on top of that foundation. So if I double again my sales, I'll be hitting that monthly number that I need. If I can triple it, then I'll be able to actually maybe breathe just a little bit. So I'm going to keep going forward, and we will see the end of the year whether I have completely failed, doubled it, or tripled it. I feel like these are my 3 options, tripled it or more. Because if it's tripled it or more, I'm going to be fairly happy. And then I'll know that I can keep going. If I can grow to that size, I should in another year be able to grow even more. So much of what you need to do to make this money come in is just put in the work. Take the photos for the listings. Get the items up. Get your death pile listed. I have more things unlisted than I have listed currently. So I will be seriously listing with my head down for the next week or so, just to get the year started right. And with that, I think we're coming to the end of my walk. You know, it wasn't cold on the way here. The walk home, I didn't film, but it was very cold. I was happy to be done with it. If you've come all this way, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. Let's get that 1,000 number before the summer. That would be so cool. And I hope there's been something worthwhile in this video, or inspiring in this video, or informational in some way. And if not, well, I hope it was, nice to look at the snow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.